Happy Wednesday, everyone. It's been a little while since we've been on here. And moving forward, there's Dr. Oz, Loz, and Chelsey Jean once a month on the first Wednesday of every month, because we want to just have a proper conversation about one thing every month and use it as our focus. Today, Dr. Oz is not joining us. Lucky him. Whatever he's doing, I hope it's fun. But if you have been tuning in before, welcome back. If you are new, hello, I'm Loz. I am a healthy habit coach, all-round mojo mechanic. And my goal is to help you live an unstoppable life by focusing and actually simplifying the bullshit that you've got. So instead of trying to deal with all of your emotional challenges and your pain and your busyness, I guarantee that if you focus on your eating, your breathing, your sleeping, and your movement and your hydration, those 5 things alone will ultimately change the outcomes you're getting in your life. And I am joined here by the delightful Chelsey Jean in teal. How are you, Chelsey?
Of course. Look at this. Branded is one of the, So hi, Loz. Thank you. I don't know what would he rather be doing than hanging out with us? Seriously.
I know, right? Maybe hanging out with his son.
Yeah, I think so too. So I love all the things that you do as with Oz, and my view in my angle is bringing the lymphatic side into it, because not a lot of people know we have this amazing system in our body that affects every other system. So your immune system, your hormones, how your body how your body distributes fluid, how we transport fat, all of that relies on this massive system. And if we can start looking outside the square sometimes and go, oh, okay, outside the box, what's something that I can do that I haven't heard of before? Let that be the lymphatic system.
And it's such powerful stuff, guys. Most people don't understand the significance of the lymphatic system. And when you see just a general practitioner, a lot of the time, they never have a conversation about your lymphatic system. And the purpose of us coming together once a month is to really inform you about topics that we understand clients struggle with. Dealing with lots of clients all of the time, we see people with many, many issues. And so what we want to bring is a lot of information so we can teach you how to question everything. Just because you read something, you hear something, somebody tells you something, I always say question it. And some of that comes down to food, which is what I actually thought would be a great topic to chat about today. Because I think when we move into these warmer months, people, they go from eating that sort of hearty, carby food that they get through winter with when they're hibernating. And there's a lot more stuff that's in season, but then people don't actually eat to the seasons a lot of the time. They rely on a lot of prepackaged foods. So I thought it'd be interesting to maybe just chat about some really common ways that you might be able to substitute things just to help your gut function better, to help you feel better. For me personally, last night I actually did this. I did cauliflower rice. So cauliflower, cruciferous sort of vegetable, really low in carbs, makes a great alternative to rice. You had cauliflower rice before?
What I love with cauliflower, what I've been doing, Loz, is I'm getting a 2 spoonfuls of flour, mixing it with soda water, and then coating my cauliflower in that wet sort of mix, and then putting it in the air fryer. And and some paprika and different spices and things. So I've been doing like a whole sort of, crunchy cauliflower.
Yeah, that's a cool idea in the air fryer.
In the air fryer, yeah. So just a little bit of like flour, soda water, so it just gets lightly coated on the outside, paprika seasoning, and in the air fryer with my cauliflower. That's our addiction.
And it's
for the last 4 weeks.
Right. And what I like is that you can substitute it in lots of dishes where you might have rice or other types of those big starchy carby things that fill you up and give you very limited nutritional input. So, whether it's doing it in the air fryer, even doing things like cauliflower, dried dehydrated cauliflower chips and things like that. There's so many ways you can use cauliflower. I did it with turmeric and paprika last night, and it's delicious.
Yeah.
Bit of oil. Another great one that I think works well for people in summer is using things like bananas instead of ice cream. I don't know if you've ever tried making banana ice cream, but it whips really well.
Mm-hmm. Yes. So my banana dessert that I like is avocado, banana, cacao, like the dark chocolate, and some honey in the blender, and that it makes a mousse. That makes a chocolate mousse. Delicious. So yeah, banana, avocado, the cacao, and some honey, a little bit of vanilla in there in the blender. Yum.
Yeah. And what I love about that is it's low calorie, really high energy. So if you are a really active person, you're getting good levels of potassium and other things that you can get from bananas, and avocados are really good quality fat. Then you got your cacao, which is high in antioxidants. That sounds like a really beautiful combo. Actually, I have to try that. It's better than like a Ben and Jerry's, I reckon. It's like having cookie dough.
It's one of those ones where you've got the bottom of your blender that you want to stick your finger in and get it all over you because you don't want to waste any of it.
Yep. Yeah, I know the ones. And that's a really great one for kids as well. Instead of just going through like the big tubs of Peter's ice cream. Another one I like with bananas is I actually get bananas and I dip them in dark chocolate. So I put a stick up their bum, dip it in dark chocolate and freeze it.
Yum.
So you have frozen bananas covered in dark chocolate. It is so delicious. And once again, getting that really big punch of antioxidants. You want to be using dark chocolate, not milk chocolate though. A lot better stuff in dark chocolate. Another thing I've been doing, because you sort of mentioned it before with the cauliflower, I use a lot of nutritional yeast instead of salt. I find that nutritional yeast really, really low in sodium. So you can use it as a substitute and it's got a nice flavor. I also use it when I am doing like a crumb. So I don't do gluten. So I might get a gluten-free breadcrumb and I put some yeast in it as well. And it gives us sort of that panko, that jacket. Yes. Oh my God, it's so amazing. And it tastes a bit cheesy. I find like it tastes got like a cheesy taste to it.
I'm writing that one down. Yum.
So good. And the thing about nutritional yeast is if you've got 2 teaspoons, I think it's got like more than like 50% of what you need in a day of like B1, it's got niacin in it, it's got folic acid, and then you also get things like B2, B12, zinc, and your vitamin D. And I think it actually gives you your entire dietary intake in just 2 teaspoons. So if you have 2 teaspoons of nutritional yeast a day, you get all of your B2, your B12, your zinc, and your vitamin D just from that one thing. I mean, it's pretty powerful stuff.
Yeah, well, the thing is, like, when it comes to dieting and changing, swapping foods out, is we don't want to be missing out, do we? No. We don't want to be missing out. We still want to have our Sunday breakfast, or we still want to have a dessert or a reward or something like that. And you can fill your cup. You can fill that emotional cup, but you can still make the best choices. Yes. And the day after, how good do you feel when you make the good choices? You just give yourself your pat on the back, and you're like, I'm so proud of you for maybe you had 2 glasses of wine, but it was half wine and then filled up with soda water or something like that. So how good do you feel after? So when making a decision, I think, okay, how am I going to feel tomorrow?
Yep.
Like if I make this choice, and then it's like, you know what? The rest of the week is hectic. I need to be on my game. I'm going to make sure it's clean, this, and that. If it's a long weekend and it's a Friday night, and I know that I've got, not a lot on over the weekend, I'm going to, you know what? I can have a couple of glasses of wine. And tomorrow morning, I am going to have those 2 of those sausages that I love the best. And it's like, I plan it.
Yes.
I plan it. Yes.
And I always say, like, nothing tastes as good as healthy feels. So, when you understand what it feels like to feel good because your food is actually working for you and your lifestyle is working for you, there is nothing that can really deter you from that. And it doesn't mean that you can't enjoy yourself. But these little tiny substitutions, guys, it doesn't sound like much, but if you actually stack this up over the course of days, weeks, months, every little tiny substitution that you make is starting to stack together to make a really profound impact. And, it's not rocket science. It's simple stuff and it tastes delicious. You're not going to get your big case of FOMO. You're going to feel like you can actually live a happy and balanced life. And, you know, it doesn't mean you can't have the wine, you can't have the sausages, and you can't do the occasional takeaway, but it's more about that balance and understanding that, you know, not everything that you see in the shops, like peanut butter is one of those things. Gosh, you can't even take peanut butter to school anymore. I don't think kids are allowed.
I've never had peanut butter because my mum's allergic to peanuts.
Right. Yeah.
So I've never even had peanut butter.
And so there are a lot of people out there who don't realize, like, there is a high incidence of issues with peanuts now. But a substitute I have for that is tahini. So like sesame spread, and it is full of magnesium. It's good for your muscles, good for recovery. Like, these are just little tiny things that, you know, mean that you still get your nutrition in. But a lot of people don't consider it. I mean, I remember Sesame Street back in the 90s and the 80s, they used to have peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. I never used to understand what that was. A peanut butter and jam, terrible combo for your blood sugar.
My worst one growing up would be cream cheese spread with honey. Like,
oh, gosh, really?
I've
never done that one before.
That was my fave. And so I just walk straight past that aisle now, like, no cream cheese. But cottage cheese, you know, cottage cheese is a great replacement.
Yes.
Your dips and things. You make your homemade dips and things out of 100%. Cottage cheese. The protein is amazing. So
good. And I buy Brandcott's do they do a lactose-free one for anybody that doesn't do lactose, but it's such a great substitute, really high in protein. If your body can tolerate dairy, cottage cheese is fairly low in casein because it is a harder type of cheese, but it is delicious. And I think, you know, that's another one of those things where dips, they're hidden like inside of it, just all of the nasties, a lot of artificial colors, flavors, things that you don't need, a lot of hidden fats and, you know, lots of high carbs. Whereas something like cottage cheese, very, very lean, bodybuilder's diet, cottage cheese, a few tomatoes, bits of celery, bits of capsicum, roast zucchini. I mean, you can go all out.
Yes.
But, you know, I mean, these are all just great little ideas for you guys to try and, you know, diversify what it is you're eating in a week. Studies are showing now that if you want to live a long time, you need about 36 different types of plants in your diet every single week. So there's lots of opportunity there to do these substitutions and increase your plant intake. It will help you feel better, live longer, and just all around, just be your best self, I reckon.
Yeah, well, I've also added a little bit of guilt to that list because I've made my own veggie garden and I've got greens coming everywhere. So all the different lettuce types and some rocket and, you know, fancy and then cos and like all of that happening. So now I've got to eat it. It's like, yeah,
great.
But now it's just
eat it,
blend it. So it's now in my juice, just chucking in a like half a lettuce into my smoothies. So just make something that's going to, you know, if you want to change, have a goal, have something that's going to motivate you, maybe put a little bit of pressure on. When it comes to food, I like to pretend that I'm like, okay, well, if I'm pretending tonight, I'm going to cook Malaysian, or if I'm going to cook Indian or like European, and like, because they've got some beautiful blends of herbs and spices and yogurts and different ideas than what we would traditionally just, you know, Aussie, you know, steak and salad. So add in some different cultural recipes into your diet, and then you'll get that diversity as well. So challenge yourself.
And it's good for your gut. Your gut needs lots of diversity. So the more variety you can eat, the happier your gut's going to be, and a lot less symptomatic you'll have with, you know, things like reflux, bloating, indigestion, trouble going to the toilet. So, you know, make it simple, make it easy for yourself, make it fun, make it delicious. Lots of herbs, very, very powerful. Using condiments and, you know, things on the side, like pickled stuff can be really good for you as well. But as you can see, like just today, we've touched on a few different substitutions. And if you've got any suggestions about anything you'd like us to chat about, please hit us up, send us your ideas. We love to chat about anything and demystify some of the myths that are out there. And next month, Dr. Oz will be back with us on here. So the first Wednesday of every month is when you'll catch us live here, Wednesday, 11 o'clock Australian Eastern Standard Time. We are in Queensland. We are not on daylight savings time behind the rest of Australia, apparently. But I love it. At least our clocks stay the same all year round. And yeah, guys, if you are looking for help and accountability, I am a coach, so I can help you with all of your goals. If you need nutritional advice to do with weight loss or fitness, motivation, and accountability, I'm your person. If you want to dive deep into the lymphatic system and the power that just a simple routine can have for your lymphatic flow, Chelsey is the person you need to speak to. You can find us most places on the internet. If you look up Loz Antonenko or Chelsey Jean, you will be able to find us both. We are kind of everywhere. But it's been a pleasure, Chels. Thanks for the good chat once again.
Thank you, my love. Yes.
And happy Wednesday, everyone. We'll see you same time, same place in about 4 weeks.
Bye, everybody.
Ciao for now.